Welcome everyone to our first poetry podcast. Poems from the flawed and indefinite mind. I've got myself, Ryan. I've got
David. Chino,
welcome.
Good afternoon, you've got Keith.
Hiya, Keith. We're going to read poems and we do a poetry class each week. And we've worked hard on a lot of these poems, so it'll be nice to get it out there. So I'm going to start with you, Chino.
I'll do it.
What's your first poem called?
Mine is called For the Love of Castleford.
What's that about?
Well,
Is it about Castleford? Or is it...
it's a little bit about Castleford. It's a little bit about mixed about blokes splitting up with partners.
Is it the hectic
It's
British life?
Yeah, it's more like a hectic everyday. Well, I won't say everyday. I'd say a bit of fucked up life.
Yeah.
But it's
So Castleford's more of a metaphor for Britain itself.
it's what I've seen of Cass, and my little end of hours in between. You know, some of my stuff mixed in, and it's some other stuff. So it's a bit of everything. My imagination's gone mad, and just this is what I came out with.
It's a beautiful thing, and you get a lot from doing poetry, don't you?
I do.
And how clean are you now, Chino? Over a year into it?
I'm 13 or 14.
14 months, yeah?
I think it's 13 at the moment. I think it's 13 months, yeah.
It's brilliant. So, can't wait for Love of Castleford.
Right then. Right. So, Castleford, it's a town within a city, small and quite shitty. More hairdressers than shops, pubs, cast tigers, tops, shoplifters, shifters and street-dwelling drifters. Cheap cigs and cheap backer that'll make you cough up a knacker. Charity shops, second-hand tops, lovely night out if you fancy some gout. Cheap beer, cheap ale, but it's all fucking stale. Smack and crack, then she's laid on her back. 9 months later she's got Jenny and Zach. Dad's moved on from a one-night stand, working down boozer for cash in hand. Sees her every weekend with a new bloke. He sells shit coke. It's his best friend, he's a bell end, new bloke, new fella, but he's up in Stella. So new fella and mate are setting it out straight. Out on streets where blokes selling meat, knocking fuck out another, all for Zach's mother. Stinks like fish, but everyone's wish. Shit tattoos, reeks of booze, so it comes coppers, so she gets out of knockers. Lads still scrapping, it's all ended bad. Oh, what a shame, it's all fucking sad.
Beautiful, Chino.
That was min.
Very vitriolic. Hello, Keith.
Hello, Ryan.
I believe you were 5 months clean.
5 months sober, yeah.
Well done, mate.
Just,
well done.
Yeah.
And you
skin
write,
my teeth.
you write some very emotive, beautiful poems. When I first heard this, I was very choked. What's this first one called?
It's not really got a title, but if it were, it'd be I'm Sorry. And I've just been talking to Chino before I did this podcast. Before we've done this podcast, sorry. And I think this is a good poem to like contribute towards my step 9 in my recovery programme, making amends, because it apologises to people. Obviously, I've got to make some physical amends, but this one gets it out there, published, and yeah, it just basically says sorry to a few people I owe apologies to.
Beautiful.
You know, for some amends, yeah.
So here's I'm Sorry.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry to my dealers for not paying them. It's a problem with their drugs and the way that they were weighing them. I'm sorry to my mum for making you cry. I wasn't thinking about you while I was getting high. I'm sorry for being a cunt with my sister. I know it's no excuse, I just don't like her mister. I'm sorry for robbing my stepdad, even though it didn't make me feel sad. I'm sorry to my best friend for emptying his bank. You know, that was kind of wank. I'm sorry to all my associates. I just use you for my opiates. I wish I could be sorry to my dad, but the thought of it makes me feel sad. Mad, should I say. But most of all, I'm sorry to myself, so I can start being at one with oneself.
Well done, Keith. Beautiful. Very touching. Right, I'm going to do one of my ones about... I've had a lot of toxic relationships. So this one is called Toxic Love Boat. and for the purposes of the tape, I am 2 years and 3 months clean. Right, toxic love boat. My girlfriend was noisily packing, a hen due to Liverpool. Just like the last hours of the Titanic, all was calm, no need for alarm. Then behold, iceberg approaching. The ship was rocking because I'd text my son's mum, wishing my boy a birthday of joy. Was time for me to get a lifeboat the hell out of here. She claimed for my ex I secretly pine. Heard some crap in my time. Then a friend shot up a Facebook flare into the dark night of truth. I discovered she'd been playing cricket on another man's wicket. The boat was now listing. She'd been cheating with this weasel who looked like he brushed his teeth with Ronseal Woodstain. Does what it says on the tin, what it does on his grin. The relationship swayed, then below the waves it sank. Was it her barnacle-covered decks the reason I drank? Then I was rescued by another sturdy vessel. In a toxic boiler room, I will sweetly nestle.
Bravo, Ryan.
Thank you. Chino, do you have a second poem?
I do.
This is a bit controversial, isn't it, this one?
I've been getting stuck into government a lot lately with their
juicy.
dirty little behaviours and
Their shenanigans.
Their shenanigans, making a whole lot of money on people's, let's just say, porness and sadness, and it's not very nice.
Misery vampires.
I hate them, even though they pay my wages. So here we go. I call this corruption.
Corruption.
Clamp down on streets, on beats, on feet. Government don't care. Between them, they have no hair. Billions and millions. Fat cats sit back, sipping cognac. Laughing and joking while us chumps are choking. Can't afford gas and electric while another mug gets elected. Can't tell the truth, all gets defected. Told Big Bad Bozza didn't have a clue. Thinking fact he was sniffing glue. It's safe to lock down. Oh, what a clown. Then what's next? He's down on another... What? He's down another one into... Then what's next? He's down another one into try take it on the chin. Rishi Sunak made claims of change. Handouts, food banks want to own us, control us, pretend they want to help us. One day they will try clone us. We are the sheep. We do our told. Because they are the big dogs. They have the hold. The big secrets never to be told.
Brilliant, Chino. Brilliant. You know, I could take the stumbles out of the podcast, but I'm not going to for dramatic purposes. I think it adds to the authenticity.
Yeah.
Keith, number 2, what we got?
This is a poem I wrote a while back, and I've changed it a little bit. So it's just basically just a bit of a tribute to my 5-month sobriety.
Cool.
Getting there. Well, 5 months, I know it's in the grand scheme, it's not a long time, but it is for me, who's been like using for the past 12, 13 years. It's probably the longest I've ever been sober off anything, so I feel like I'm making progress. But yeah, this is called, I've called it obviously 5 months sober.
Very apt.
Yeah, so we'll give it a go. As I say, I'm not a big poet, but I do get a lot of fun out of writing. Class is what we do.
You do, man.
So yeah, right, so here it goes. 5 months without smoking crack, must never get complacent and go back. 5 months without rattling, that thing enough, make sure I don't have a beetle which is frazzling. 5 months without giving my mum a sleepless night, you'd think at nearly 60 years old she would have that right. 5 months, I've had my stepdad back in my life. I know the only reason you weren't was the emotional pain I was giving your wife. 5 months and I've gained 6 stone. That's due to having Pizza Canoe on my phone.
Beautiful.
Cheers, right.
Beautiful.
Cheers, Chino.
I'm going to do a quick one, another one, and then I'm going to get some guests in, some more poets.
Special guests.
Yeah. As we well know, I suffer with allergies, so this one's called Hay Fever, You Bastard. It's a short one. My nose, it runs like a council-fitted tap, all over my plant-based vegan bap. How long has this lasted? Hay Fever, You Bastard. It feels like a porcupine is giving birth in my eye. Why, oh fucking why? Never felt like this when I was plastered. Hay Fever, You Bastard. Golden wheat fields, tall sunflowers. No doubt I'll be sneezing for bloody hours. The urge to gouge my face off with an ice cream scoop, cause my allergy to pollen is quite acute. Whilst this freshly cut grass, have I reacted? If either, you bastard. Got Ashley here. Hello, Ashley.
Hiya.
Recovering addict, like the rest of us. And Daz has just walked in. Hiya, Daz.
Hiya, Ryan. You alright?
Ashley, you're from Wales, aren't you, mate?
Yep.
South Wales.
South Wales, the valleys.
Beautiful part of the world. Celtic lads are always good poets. We've got Daz from Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
The good part of Lincolnshire.
Yeah, Grimsby Park.
What poem are you going to read today, Ashley?
I'm going to read a poem called Digital Detox. It's a poem about technology taking over the world. I feel like everyone is losing connection with themselves and with each other. To put it bluntly, if you've seen a 12-year-old smoking a bong, you lose your mind. But don't bat an eyelid when it's when a child sat in front of the screen for days on end.
Wow, very, very pertinent. I agree with it. So, do you want to go here, Ash?
Yeah, right. Turn off the screen, take a look outside, appreciate the beauty of life. Nature will show off its beauty with pride. When you turn off the screen, life is nice. Log off the computer, forget about the apps, go outside and take a stroll. A digital detox will do you good. Sit by the river and watch it flow. Put down your phone, it's taking control. Sit in the garden, it's bliss. Your garden has much more beauty to show. Look up at the stars, make a wish. Technology can be useful when it's used right, but it's taking over the next generation. So let's be wise how we use it and get our lives back and become a united nation.
That was beautiful, that, Ash. Beautiful poem.
Well done,
Very
mate.
relevant to the modern world as well.
Yeah.
You're going to hear some crinkles now because Daz is going to get his papers out. Right, Daz, what are you going to read for us, mate?
Right, it's a poem about addiction, where I used to be, where a lot of people are now. And after a long 4 decades, and I'm 9 months in recovery,
Well done,
it
mate.
just shows what you can do.
Yeah.
You know, put your head to it, you know, it just shows what we can do. Right, a bad boy's doing time for doing crime that once did pay for his ways of feeling drunk and taking junk. That messes you up and brings you down. No longer to be seen in town, avoiding pubs, clubs, faces, sitting in dirty rundown places, chasing dragons and ailing brown, feeling good but acting the clown. Losing friends and owing money, anything that gets a honey. Scoring more to get that high, you've got no tears inside to cry. You'll feel no pain, your head's a shed, thinking you'd rather be dead. Go ahead, you've made your bed. The bills keep coming, the sums get big, all because you need that dig. Debts keep coming while foil is used, brown is known to be abused. Congratulations on feeling proud, we'll go and shout out loud about the dirty works you share. Don't need to think about the worst, why should you, the bus comes first. Opinions of you stood as low as the floor, but your only concern is for more. Out of your arm and in another, there's nothing wrong, he's like your brother. One of many tempted fates, but what's a needle shared with mates? Hands in your pockets, results as before, not caring your habit has made you this poor. Cheek sunken in, aged 10 years and 10 days, when will you realise the error of your ways? Sex is a turn off, no longer a must. Your number one addiction is your addiction is your number one lust. The niceness inside you, the thing of the past, the self-centered creature is moving in fast. It tells you to bagel, rob houses and shops, leaving your prints for the cops. Car on the drive as you're trashing and dwelling, tell us anything worth selling. All's on your mind, there is money to earn, not caring for the owner's return. A face in the window, a look of surprise, neighbourhood watch lights up in your eyes. Your only hope is the door that's ajar, race down the drive and jump in your car. Soon you'll be living a life full of fears, or will be behind bars for a number of years.
Well done, Daz. That were epic, that, mate. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely, both of you.
Appreciated.
Listen, you both done brilliant there.
Yeah.
Daz, you've got a second poem, haven't you, after that brilliant one?
I
Should
have,
this will be
yeah.
brilliant as well.
It's called mental health awareness. Not a lot of people in the world or even the country understand mental health. So it might connect with somebody.
Definitely.
Hopefully it does. Alright, it's called mental health awareness. Amy Winehouse overdosed in a £1 million home and was a punchline to members because relapse is so hilarious. Until Robin Williams spending his whole life making people happy, only to end his life with a rope around his neck. It's all so funny until it's tragic. Until it's your partner's lifeless body on the floor next to their empty pill bottle. Until it's your brother alone in his room with a razor to his wrist. Or your mum who hasn't left her room in a week. Mental illness looks like so many things. It's Carrie Fisher on 7 different medications 3 times a day. It's your friend who hasn't been to work in weeks and won't answer your calls. It's your neighbour who hasn't left her home in weeks and has a mountain of dirty dishes in the window. The teen on the drugs or the girl who barely speaks. One day it might be you. It's 1 in 4 of us that struggle with mental illness. Unfortunately, we live in a world where if you break a leg, everyone comes to sign the cast. But if you tell people you're depressed, they want to run the other way. We have accepting of any body parts breaking down other than the brain, and that's the ignorance that has created a world that doesn't understand mental health.
Brilliant, Dad. Brilliant. Well done.
Thank you.
And that's the end of the podcast. So thank you to Ashley, thank you to Daz, thank you to Chino, thank you to Keith, and thank you to me.